They say the dead cannot speak, but what if they could? A priest who chanted hymns in the dusty temples of Thebes 3,000 years ago is about to break his silence. Science has achieved the impossible, bringing the vocal cords of a long-dead man back to life. Get ready, because the sound you're about to hear is the first cry to rise from the deepest tomb in history. The year is 1100 BC, during the reign of Pharaoh Ramesses XI. In the dimly lit corridors of the Karnak temple, a priest named Nesyamun murmurs prayers to the god Amun. He was known as the voice of the righteous. In a strange twist of fate, when he died, his tongue and larynx were miraculously preserved during the mummification process. His final breath before being buried in a silence that would last for millennia was really just the beginning of a long wait. In 1824, that silence was broken when Nesyamun's sarcophagus was opened. Researchers discovered not just a golden mask, but a biological marvel that time had failed to erode. Unlike other mummies, Nesyamun's soft tissues, especially his vocal tract, remained perfectly intact, almost as if he was destined to one day speak again. Fast forward to 2020, a team of scientists from the universities of London and York pointed the most advanced instruments of modern medicine at this ancient body. Their goal wasn't just to examine bones, but to restore Nesyamun's physical identity. CT scanners mapped Nesyamun's larynx millimeter by millimeter. But this wasn't just a technical experiment, it was the fulfillment of an ancient testament. For the ancient Egyptians, to speak someone's name or hear their voice was to make them immortal. The hieroglyphs on Nesyamun's sarcophagus even contained this prayer: "May the souls of the dead be resurrected when their voices are heard." Without even realizing it, scientists were performing an ancient spell with technological tools. Engineers created a three-dimensional model of the priest's throat. This model was then transformed into an artificial larynx and a 3D printed replica of his vocal tract. The only thing missing was a breath. That breath was provided by an electronic signal delivered through loudspeakers. As a tense silence fell over the laboratory, the button was pressed. The sound that rose from the speakers wasn't a word, but more like a groan, an IG short, clear, and chilling. This was the first artificial sound to emerge from a human throat in 3,000 years. It rose from the very same physical structure that once murmured ancient prayers. In that moment, everyone in the room froze. This sound wasn't just a frequency, it was an echo beyond time. Science had broken down the walls of history and delivered a hello from the other side. Nesyamun, millennia after his own funeral, was speaking to the modern world with his own voice. Of course, critics argued this was unethical. The debate raged between those who said, "Leave the dead in peace," and those who proclaimed, "We gave voice to history." But Nesyamun's perfectly preserved body has shown us the limitless possibilities of biology and how technology can make the impossible a reality. This man, who now lies in the Leeds Museum, is no longer just a silent mummy. He is a digitally immortalized messenger, the owner of the oldest sound recording in human history. Scientists are now planning to make him utter complete sentences in ancient Egyptian. Imagine that. One day, while walking through a museum, you might hear a 1,000-year-old body behind a glass case speaking directly to you. This isn't science fiction anymore, it's our reality. History is no longer just something you read, it's something you can listen to. So, what do you think? Is bringing back the voices of the dead a scientific triumph or a profound disrespect to the laws of nature? And if Nesyamun could form a complete sentence today, what do you think he would say to us? Thank you for witnessing the awakening of buried voices. Until the next mystery, stay curious. Subscribe and share your opinion in the comments below.